Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series based on the notes from Ubinder Singh, and today we will be discussing about this period called as Vedic Age. We have already discussed about this Stone Age and Indus Valley civilization. If you didn't watch it, please go and watch that one. After that, you can continue from here this Vedic Age. So we can get started. And in this module, we'll be discussing two important areas. One will be regarding these Aryans, their origin theories. There are various theories among historians regarding the origin of these Aryan people. So we'll be discussing about that. After that, we'll be discussing the date of this Rigvedic period. So these two will be our core and most important area of discussion for today. So before starting with this Vedic age, we should have a correct understanding regarding this basic information about this Vedic age. So first of all, we can have a general understanding that this Vedic age that flourished in India in two parts or two regions of India. One was in this northwestern region of India. And another one was in this eastern part of India. So we can see this Vedic age flourished in two parts. One was in the northwestern region and another one was in the eastern Gangetic region or the eastern part of India. And the first phase of this Vedic age, that is referred as this Rigvedic period. And this Rigvedic period that flourished between 1500 BC and continued till 1000 BC. Also what we can see, these Rigvedic settlements held in the regions called as Saptasindha regions. And around 1000 BC what we can see, there is an eastern migration of these Aryans or these Rigvedic people, hence establishing the next phase of this Vedic age called as later Vedic period. And this later Vedic period flourished between 1000 BC and continued till around 600 BC. So these are some of the basics that you should know before starting with our Ubinder Singh notes lecture. Okay, hope it was useful. Now we are going to understand various theories regarding the origin of these Aryan people. Who were these Aryan people? From where they came from? So there are different opinions by different historians. You can have a look on it. Professor Gales, he opines that the origin of these Aryans were from Europe. He opens like that because he concludes that these Aryans had some kind of familiarity with this European fauna and flora. So by having such kind of understanding of this European fauna and flora, Professor Gates, he established that these Aryans were basically European people. There comes another person called as William Jones. He also says the same, the European theory. He says this theory because of based on the language. So what we can see, there is a language called as the Indo-European language, in which what we can see the origin of Sanskrit, Latin and English. So by concluding this one, what we can see, William Jones concludes that the Aryans belongs to European area. Another person was Max Muller. He says that Central Asia was the homeland of these Aryan people because the Central Asian region is the ancestor land of all human beings. By that establishment, Max Muller says that Central Asia was the homeland of these Aryan people. Then there comes Swami Dayananda Saraswati. He established the Tibet as the homeland of these Aryan people. For saying so, he concludes that the sun and fire worship in Tibet, flora and fauna mentioned in Rigveda are found in Tibet. Because of these two reasons, one is sun and fire worship in Tibet, another one is flora and fauna mentioned in Rigveda that we can also see from this region called as Tibet. That's why he establishes that Tibet as the homeland of these Aryans. Next comes Balagangadhar Tilak. He says that Arctic home theory. Arctic as the homeland of these Aryan people. He established this theory by certain Vedic hymns and chronology. Later he says that due to this climate change, there happened some kind of migration and these Aryans, they migrated and reached in northwestern part of India. So that's the theory of Balagangadhar Tilak's Arctic homeland. Some other opinions regarding the origin of these Aryan people, A.C. Das. He says that it's the Saptasindha Pradesh itself, meaning what? This Punjab and this northwestern part of India itself is the origin of these Aryan people. Rajbari Pandey, he says that it is Madhya Desha, meaning what? Nowadays Uttar Pradesh region as the homeland of this or the origin area of these Aryan people. Also what we can see, the philologist Schrader, he says that it was from southern Russia there have such kind of migration. So that's why the southern Russia is considered as the homeland of these Aryan people. So these are some of the most important theories regarding the origin of these Aryan people. And look into this map. This map will provide you an insight regarding the various theories regarding these Aryan people or the various migratory routes of these Aryan people from different parts. We can see they are situated in the regions of Europe, parts of Russia, and even they also migrated into regions of Africa, in Tibetan region, northwestern part of India, Central Asia. These are some of the important areas of their migration. So by this what we can see, there is no definite conclusion regarding the origin of these Aryan people, but we can assume that this Aryan community, they migrated from different parts of the world into different parts of the world. So it is best to believe that these Aryans, they migrated from the regions of Europe to India through Iran, meaning through Central Asia. So we can establish that fact by bringing some kind of connection between this Rig Veda and the Iranian text Avesta. So it has been established that between 1700 BC and 1400 BC there happened different kind of migration, and two communities, two people, one is the Avestan or the Iranian people, another one is the Rigvedic people. They coexisted in the same area. We have some kind of evidences for that. One is that the language is Sanskrit, that is having some kind of close relationship between the language of the Yesht. Yesht means the Avestan earliest hymns. So what we can see, there is some kind of similarity between the Sanskrit language and Yesht language. Also what we can see, some references regarding the common habit of their drinking pattern. Drinking of juice such as the fertility plant called as Soma in Rigveda, also the Homa in Avesta. So what we can see, the Avestian text and the Rigvedic text both mention some kind of drinking juices of fertility plants such as Soma in Rigveda, Homa in Avesta. All these shows that there is some established fact that between 1700 BC and 1400 BC, these two communities existed in the same area, having some kind of interconnections. Thus, we are going to establish that the Aryans, they might be came from these parts of Europe and passed through the Central Asia and finally reached in the northwestern part of India. And thus, these Aryan people, they settled in northwestern part of India. Their earlier settlements were in the regions of eastern Afghanistan, parts of Punjab, and some fringes of UP or the western UP. And in Rigveda there we can see the mentioning of the river Kuba of Afghanistan and river Indus and 5 of these branches. That's why we refer that region as this Saptasindha region. Remember, Saptasindha region. And also we can see some outer settlements of these early Aryan people. They also reached to the banks of Ganga and Yamuna. So that's why what we can see. In Rigveda itself, we can see some reference regarding these rivers called as Ganga and Yamuna. And they named this region as Madhya Desha, nowadays parts of Uttar Pradesh. And they gradually occupied the whole Uttarapada, Aryavarta. Okay, so this is some important basics about this early Aryan people or the Rigvedic people. So this is about the origin theory of Aryans. Next, we are going to understand the date of Rigveda. So we have already discussed that the Rigveda or these Rigvedic people settled in the Saptasindha region or the northwestern part of India between 1500 BC and 1000 BC. Now we are going to have some kind of discussion regarding the date of Rigveda. Meaning what? There are different opinions among different historians or archaeologists regarding the date of this Rigveda. Max Muller, he opines that this Rigveda that may be compiled or established during 1200 BC and 1000 BC. Max Muller uses this reference based on the family books. In Rigveda, we can see some important text or parent books or family books. Based on that, Max Muller established that this Rigveda, the date of Rigveda will be between 1200 and 1000 BC. And there are some other historians such as Ludwig, Jacobi, Subhash Kak, all established the date of Rigveda based on the astronomical references in Rigveda. So by connecting some kind of references about these astronomical features, these people, these historians, established their own interpretations and their own periods for understanding the Rigvedic period. So Ludwig says that it is around 11th century BC, and Jacobi says that it was 3rd millennium BC, and Subhash Kak says that it was between 4000 and 2000 BC. So these all references of this Ludwig, Jacobi and Subhash Kak were based on the astronomical references that we can see in Rigvedic text. So by interpreting such kind of periods, Ludwig says that it was 11th century BC, Jacobi says that 3rd millennium BC, Subhash Kak says that it was between 4000 and 2000 BC. Another important source in order to understand the date of this Rigvedic period is that Bogazkoy inscription that we can find from this northeastern part of Syria, and it was issued around 1380 BC. And this Bogazkoy inscription deals with some kind of treaty between the Hittite people and the Mitanni. And this inscription is relevant for the history of Indo-Aryan languages and gods. We can see some references regarding the language and the mentioning of certain gods in Rigveda and also in the Bogazkoy inscription. So what we can see, some mentioning of Rigvedic gods such as Indra or the Rigvedic Indra, Mitra, Rigvedic Mitra, Nasatya or the Ashwins of Rigveda, Uruvanas or Varuna of Rigveda. All that can be seen in this Bogazkoy inscription itself, thus establishing or thus helping in order to understand the history of Indo-Aryan language and gods based on this Bogazkoy inscription of 1380 BC. Another one is the Iranian text Avesta. We have already established or discussed some connection between this Avesta and Rigveda. There we can see some close similarity between the languages and cultures of both these Avestan people and Rigvedic people. Even though the date of Avesta is not certain, we can have some kind of understanding that the oldest part of this Avesta may be around 1500 BC, having some connection with this Rigvedic text or the Rigvedic period or the Rigvedic people. So by this, we are going to have some understanding regarding the date of Rigvedic people. Generally what we can see, this Rigvedic period in northwestern part of India flourished between 1500 BC and 1000 BC. So this is all about this chapter. Hope the discussion was useful. If you find it useful, please subscribe and comment your opinion in the comment box below. So that's all guys. See you in the next module. That's all. Thank you.